Okay. I'm gonna try and give this another go. So it kicked me out of the other live stream. I don't know if this one's gonna work or not. So we'll give this just a second here. Well, apparently that's just part of the fun of living out in the sticks. So I apologize that it went down or not. It's just kind of the way it is. I should have thought about the fact that we're trying to do it on a major internet shopping day, and I didn't stop to think about that. Looks like I got Robin and Kathy back. So yeah, I don't know what happened. It kicked me out, ended the live stream, so I went back in and tried it again. So we'll see. It's growing pains. This is only my second go around with this, so I apologize that we had trouble, but it seems to be kind of working at the moment. We'll see if it stays working or not. But um, so I don't know if Jacinda made it back on. Yes, Anita, I hope it's going to stay working. We'll see. If Jacinda made it back on. So, what I was saying about the goose is, yeah, Christmas dinner for a goose may be what ends up happening to him. I don't really have any tips for you there as far as dealing with a cantankerous goose. There doesn't seem to be any good methods to stop them. Kathy, no worries. It gave me some time to pour wine. There you go. Whatever works for you, I guess. Not a big wine drinker. I never had. I'm not big into alcohol at all. A, I've gone through my phases, I suppose, but yeah, never been real big into it. So, does anybody have any questions? Because I kind of went through. I know it was breaking up, but I kind of went through everything I had. Um, so yeah, I've got some stuff coming up, some videos in the next couple weeks, hopefully, and we'll try and do the female farmer stuff that I'm hoping to get started on this week. So maybe for Friday. So Danielle, I just bought a bunch of seeds and was surprised at the demand. A lot of sites are sold out. Have you had trouble sourcing seeds? I have not tried. I will say that I went in the other day to, I want to say it was Burpee for the Black Friday sale, and I was amazed at how high the seed prices have gotten. I went in and looked at my past orders, and seeds are much like $2 and $3 a packet more than they were when I ordered last spring. I didn't order anything this spring, and I'm kind of working off what I've already got. Uh, the companies that I mostly buy from tend to be Baker Creek and Sustainable Seed Company. Uh, so I haven't really looked to see how they're doing, but yeah, it seems I'm hearing from other people that there's still a lot of trouble getting seed orders sent. But the big thing is I really haven't tried to order anything, so I don't really know. Robin, it's okay in regards to goats and breeding. I would like to see what they mean by tail flagging. Mine are always my tails are always wagging. That's one thing I'm going to definitely make a video on is how to tell because like I said, my Nigerians are not big at telling you that they're in heat, but the Nubians are ultra like you can see those tails wagging from the house. I mean, they're big tail flaggers. So, and they do it in a certain way to kind of give you an idea. Kathy, Territorial Seed Company has seeds in stock, but they're spending. They are. I don't buy a lot from Territorial. Our feed store, one of our feed stores out here locally, gets a lot of their seeds in, and I buy some every year. But they do seem to be really high priced. I like Baker Creek just because they've got a lot of weird, odd stuff. Like I bought some bicolored Chinese spinach last year that I actually got to grow this year. It's an amarnith, I think is how you say that. That was really cool stuff. It's not terribly cold tolerant, but it grew pretty well. Uh, let's see. Wonderland Acres. Hello, glad you made it. Robin South. Last spring, I got seeds from a Mennonite store. I like local type stuff if you can find them. When we were in Mississippi, our co-op out there did a special brand, like their own co-op brand of seeds. And I used to get huge packets of stuff for way cheap. So if you can find that kind of stuff, that's awesome. A nickel, what breed of goats and what are they good for? That I have three different breeds. So I have Nigerians, Nubians, and Kinders. So the Nigerians and the Nubians specifically are milk goats. Nubians are about the biggest you can get, right up there with Sanins. And then a Kinder is actually the only dual purpose goat. So they are developed from a Nubian doe and a pygmy goat buck. Goats have some more bred into them to kind of give them a little bit more beef and more stature. So my goat's a little bigger. Elijah Inser says hello. Hello to you too. I try to save as much of my own as I can, but I cannot get. I do like Baker Creek. Yeah, I will admit I'm not a huge seed saver. That's something I'm working on that I started this year, and I got some lettuce seed, which tends to be pretty easy. Peas, green beans, that kind of stuff are simple. It's a work in progress for me. I tend to get really busy and things bolt and I forget about them and then I jerk them out and I'm like, "Oh, I needed the seed for that." So it's a learning process. There's some really good books out. And off the top of my head, I cannot think of the one that I like the best, but I have a great big book on seed saving that has been really kind of cool. So I'm trying to do at least two or three more every year. Squash tend to be pretty easy. That's another one. Robin, you have Nigerians. If your Nigerians are like my Nigerians, they probably don't say anything, but you might notice your does clashing more. At least mine do. Like when one of them will come into heat, she tends to pick on everybody else. But our goats, we have 24 does off the top of my head that will be breeding this year. So we've got everybody coming in and out of heat like constantly. So it seems like every day somebody is out there screaming and letting me know all about how they want to date. So I'll see if I can get some of them on video that kind of explains what they're doing. What type of separator do you use for goat milk? I don't. Um, Most of the sites and groups that I belong to say that if you just kind of set the milk aside for 2 or 3 days in the fridge, you'll get a good separation and that's it. There's a lot of cream separators, but a lot of people say that they're not worth anything, and I have honestly not made any investments there for either milkers or cream separators. So it's just I don't know. There's a lot of good groups out there, though. A lot of good milking goat groups on Facebook. I know a lot of people are leaving Facebook. Uh, I think most of them are on MeWe or on MeWe, and we're kind of new to the whole thing. So we've had goats for a long time, but there'll be a bunch of. Well, thanks. We appreciate that you make it on and watch. Laws in the Pacific Northwest are haha. Yeah, unfortunately, the Pacific Northwest is trying to go the way of California at an awful speedy clip. I think so. It's getting kind of restrictive and it is what it is. We live here for family, and if we didn't have family here, I would probably consider going back to Tennessee. Robin, yes, Facebook is quiet. I only have two goats. Yeah, I've noticed a whole lot of people have left a whole lot of my groups in the last couple of weeks, and I tried MeWe and just couldn't really get a feel for it. I may try it again because so many of my groups are more active over there now. I get it. Facebook is kind of what it is. Um, you know, you just kind of got to put up with it if you want to stay on Facebook, and if you don't, then you can go elsewhere. I did sign up for a Parlor account, and I think I've been on it twice since I signed up. So don't look for me to be very active on Parlor yet. So there's a lot of stuff out there. I know there are people looking at alternatives for YouTube. We have not decided that we're going to do that yet. We have enough trouble just trying to be on YouTube. Yeah, my friends are going to Parlor. Yeah, a lot of people are. My connection is bad. Do we have a Facebook page? Yes, Elijah, we are on Facebook. You can look us up by Sprague River Homestead, or the rabbitry is Sprague River Rabbits and Poultry. But we are on Facebook quite a bit, so that's the easiest way to get in touch with us. And it may not be your connection; it might be mine, honestly. So, but yeah, you can always message us from there. Have anything else? I know it's kind of coming and going. So every time the stuff on the right hand side stops, I start thinking, did I lose everybody? Farmstead Smith, happy Monday. Oh, Elijah, okay. We're on Instagram too, Elijah, if you're on Instagram at all. Looking you up now. We're not active on Facebook as we should be. We go in spurts. So we're really good at being on there and then we're really not good at being there. So Robin, looking for upcoming lighthouse supposed to be like YouTube. There's a couple of them that are supposed to be like YouTube. I saw another one mentioned this morning, and I can't think of what it was, but um, uh, I have enough trouble committing to this, to be honest. We tried Instagram TV, doing the little IGTV thing. I think we made it one video, and it just. Kanan's been on YouTube for like 10 years, so he knows the platform and he knows how to deal with it. So it's just kind of the way things are. Anita, do you have cell phone service where you're at? Service with the cell phones, and when I say limited, about half the time they don't ring. So people will call and maybe we get to answer the phone, maybe we don't. It's very spotty. So we're kind of down, we're kind of in a little bit of a valley. Sprague River is not known for a lot of really good cell signal to start with. All we can get here to work is Verizon, and it's not great. So we use Verizon for our internet and for our cell phones. And surprisingly, the internet works fairly decent most of the time, but the cell phone service itself is pretty lackluster. Elijah, saw your turkey video. Thanks for the breakdown between broad-breasted and heritage. Excellent video. Robin, I haven't made a video in almost a year. I went back to work full time. It's definitely a lot of work to try and get videos out, so I can totally understand that, Robin. I go in spurts, so I get really busy doing stuff, and I I always tell people the same thing. If you're really homesteading, it's really hard to make homesteading videos because, like, during the busy time of the year, I go out and I do literally on the phone that long. But I tend to think a lot of those people are more uh, YouTubers than homesteaders because it's just a lot of work. So I understand what you mean about not making videos. It's really, really tough to stay on top of doing it. So you'll get there. If you have time to do it, you'll get some done. And if you never get back to it, you never get back to it. Doing YouTube, I like doing it. I like doing these live streams and the interactions with everybody. But um, man, some days, like the last weekend, I think it was, the first message that popped up when I turned on my phone was somebody telling me I was a monster for raising meat rabbits. And it gets a little bit old. So it's just kind of, it is what it is. Two family homestead, just stopping by to say hi. Well, we're glad you did, even if you just kind of came and went. So, Anita, I know I'm in the black hole where I am. I'll contact you with I'll contact your email with possible solution. Okay. Yeah, email is, you can always get me on email. Sometimes it takes me a day or two because I get busy, but srhomestead at yahoo.com. Can't even remember my own email address, but Robin, I admire your commitment. Well, thank you. I try, but there are a lot of days that I lack commitment for it. I'll tell you that. So it just gets bumped down the priority list. I like to do it. I like to help, but there are days where it gets a little much. Oh, it's working better now. Sorry, I left a minute. Yeah, it's all kind of coming and going. So we're trying to live stream in the middle of the busiest shopping day in the year, I think. So it's probably not a good day for it. But Robin, been watching since you had like 12 subscribers. Have you really? That's been a while. I think that's, gosh, I think we've been at it almost 4 years now. And I know a lot of other channels have had this huge growth, and we've done far better than we expected. But it's been slow going. A lot of times, we don't we don't make a lot of what we consider to be entertainment as much as a lot of the other channels do. And so we tend to be the place that people come for information, which I love. That's kind of what my thing in life is. But yeah, and that just means a lot of people come get what they need to leave. So it's just kind of the way it works. Farmstead Smith, maybe. What internet do you use over there? We have Verizon, Verizon Wireless. That's it. That's all we can get down here. We had kicked around getting some internet through Dish because we have a dish right now that my parents have a mobile dish thing that they loan us, but we can just barely get enough signal to get most of the channels to work. So I don't know that we could do any better with that. Rain Nolan, hey, I love your channel. I've learned so much. Well, thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad that you're getting something out of it. Check into Web Foremex. They're all over Oregon, cheap and so good. I will, in fact, let me write that down because we're always looking for something better for internet because it's not good. It's going to shake the table a little bit, but I'll check that out. I don't know. We haven't. So you said they may cover us down here. I don't know. We haven't looked in. There's getting to be more and more people here, so I keep hearing that we've got more options, but we're not huge internet people to tower time. I'll check it out. I'll see if that works. I mean, Kanan's doing a lot of internet type stuff. He's writing a lot again, so I think it would be great if we could have a better internet connection. Right now we're uploading our YouTube videos overnight because if we tried to do them during the day, they just won't go. And overnight, we just turn them on, turn up on the upload before bed. And usually it's done by the morning. So if it takes 8 hours, we don't care. But yeah, you can't get it to work at all during the day. It's just the internet's terrible out in Sprague River. Sometimes we'll still upload them if we go to town, but we try not to go to town, especially right now. I mean, everything's closed anyway, so there's not much to do. We spent half a day in town running errands yesterday, so okay. Yeah, I upload mine in minutes. Well, you're lucky. Where you're at, I would think you get a little better internet up there anyway, but and I live in the middle of the grasslands. You're up towards Madras, right? I think that's what you'd said, but let's see. Naturally, my computer's gonna act funny. We are actually like 3 miles outside of Sprague River. The next big city to us is Klamath Falls. So we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. This kind of the way things are. We don't mind a whole lot generally, but it sure would be nice to have a